So you're now at the stage where everything is starting to all come together. You've decided on who's doing what, who's outsourcing, and you now begin to piece the whole puzzle together, getting closer and closer to launching your first product. So in this video section, we're going to look at project management, whether you're doing it in-house or if it's outsourced. You still want to have a checklist. You know the flow is being followed and things are being done. And the great thing is you can actually follow this the first time yourself. I've included a checklist again for you that you can go through, and you can use that and tweak it as you learn, as you go through the process. You might do things slightly differently to the way I do it, but you find what works for you, tweak the sheet, and then you can give this to someone if you're going to give it to people to outsource in the future. If you want to, you let them use it as a checklist to make sure all of your requirements are met. So you follow the checklist for guidance, and then that's it. You run your offer. You're ready to run your offer. And in the next video, I'm going to quickly walk you through running the offer, what you need to be considering. So let's quickly look at this checklist. And remember, I've included this in the course for you to have a look at. So it's piecing it all together. You can outsource the whole process if you like. You don't need to do any of this. You can do the whole lot outsourced if you want. But here's the steps you need to ensure are completed if you're going to be doing it yourself. You want to, of course, make sure that your product has been decided upon. You know what direction you're headed. You've got the relevant domain name and hosting sorted if it's relevant. If you're selling it all from a central domain, then that's fine. But if you're going to name the product separately in this occasion, make sure you've got the domain and the hosting is all sorted. You've got your list of your in-house and outsourced projects completed. So if you remember when we went through that sheet earlier on, we looked at who's doing what. That's all been completed and taken care of, so you know who's doing what. Your freelancers have been contacted, your bids have taken, and the projects have been started. So you've chosen your article writers, or you've chosen your mini site designer, or your video maker, or your webmaster, and those people are starting to pull and do the parts of the puzzle that they need to. Your autoresponder account has been set up, so it's ready to go. The delivery process, you've decided how you're going to deliver it. In our case and samples, we've been using Warrior Special Offer Plus, but you can use whatever scripts or processes you like. The sales copy's been done, the free report's been done if it's applicable, your mini site design's done. You're starting to get all this come back now from the freelancers, so you can tick them off as you go. Your video squeeze page or your squeeze pages completed. Your affiliate tools have been done. Your thank you and your delivery pages are done, part of your mini site and the delivery process. You've written the autoresponder series for the pre-selling, so if people come to your page, get the download report. The follow-up that happens from that point, the pre-selling, that's been written. The customers, when your customers have purchased, don't forget, this is a sales funnel process. So you'll be following through with your customers, offering them new and exciting products, maybe affiliate tools, sending them to pages that don't cost you or them anything. They can just follow up and read more pertinent information that's linked to your course. If you've written a course about losing weight, you might have only covered a tiny fraction. You might want to send them really useful links that relate to them learning further, and then splash in some affiliate links later. But you've started at least your customer autoresponder series. It's in place. And also remember, we talked about in a previous video having an autoresponder series for your affiliates as well, so they're in the funnel process and reminding them about your product and it being ready, and they can start promoting and what tools they can use, resources that you've compiled for them. And later on as well, add to this series. So when you start getting more and more sales material that you can say, look, I did a promotion myself. I sent it to a list of X amount of people and I made this amount of sales. Put in your conversion statistics in there, so it helps an affiliate make a decision. So if they see that for every 100 people that you sent your product to, you made a conversion at 15%, they've got a good metric to work with. They can say, okay, I've got a list of 1,000 in that niche. That means, I could maybe expect to make somewhere between 100 and 150 sales, making $10 of sales. So I'm going to make between 1,000 and 1,500 in sales. This is worth my while, I'll promote this. You can give them the tools that they need to decide whether they want to get behind and help promote you. So that needs to be done. The product It's now back from the freelancers. You've checked it, you've double checked it, you've even sent it to your auntie to proofread. It's up to you, but you know you're happy with the product. It's ready to go. The follow-up sales is prepared and ready. So you've decided on, is it going to be another product? Is it going to be an expansion to the product? What I mean by this is you could have, for example, your main product. If you're going to do a product you've created, say like in our case, we've written an ebook, you might decide that you're going to sell it for $5 with personal use rights and with resale rights, so they can sell the ebook if they want to. But there's no squeeze page, there's no affiliate page, there's no sales copy page, but you've given them the product they can sell as they like. And then as an upsell, rather than being a whole new product, you've decided to give them an affiliate squeeze page, the squeeze page on the autoresponder series, the free report, the actual pre-written sales copy web page that they can plug up and go. You could decide what you're going to use. It doesn't have to be another product. It could just be an extension, something that gives more quality to the backing of your initial product. That could be your upsell. So have that in place as well, so you're ready, you know what that's going to be. So there, your follow-up sales are prepared and ready. Your back-end sales are prepared and ready. Your next product is already planned or already actually being made. So if you're at the point where you're ready to run with this, you really want to actually have the next product already in the pipeline, ready to be pumping out soon. So you've already got another one in the back end that you've offered people. You might have that ready. But what's your next step? What is your next project going to be? Are you starting to prepare for that already? Have you at least, got everything ready to hit the go button if this one was successful and met your expectations? You've booked the project setup and manager if applicable. So if you've outsourced someone to set the whole thing up for you, to put in your PayPal buttons if you're not selling it through the forum, or to set up your autoresponder account for you and put in all the autoresponder series and upload to a domain and the download page and the zip folders, because you're not quite techie enough to know how to do all that. You want to outsource it. You've done that. The book, the person is ready. The money's there ready for your Warrior special offer, and your Warrior Plus account has already been set up and is ready to roll. You've done a JVs list, you've prepared and sent already, and you've now got feedback from those JVs if it's applicable at this stage to you, and they've said, yes, I'm going to promote for you, or no, I'm not. Or you're starting to get people who you're having conversation with say, well, I hear your book sounds good, can I promote it? Whatever you've done, if you've got any of those things in place, make sure that's been checked off and you're doing it. And you've got your project sheet completed with all your forecasting in place. You know what your expected turnout or your target sales are going to be, or what your aim is on this section. You want to build a list of 50 new people. You don't mind the fact it's going to cost you $500 to build a list of 50. You've decided it's worthwhile. Whatever the steps you've put in place here, you've decided, have that ready as well, and then run the thing. Actually take the step to push the button. You can get all this way and not go ahead and run it because you're worried it's not good enough, or the software's not quite ready, it's got 1 or 2 bugs. Whatever the process is at this stage, run with it. Allow yourself the opportunity. You've done a lot of work at this stage. We've already talked about that the product's back from the freelancers and you've checked it and your auntie's checked it. So you've got to be happy at this point. Now run the thing and let it go and see how it operates. Then you want to go through the situation, and we're going to look at that in a couple of videos time. We're going to look at the next video where we're looking at actually running your Warrior special offer, things you might want to think about. But then you want to do, like, how did it go? What was it like? The follow-up notes. How did it go compared to what your strategy was? What will your next step be? And the lessons that you've learned. So this is your check sheet to go through. Please feel free to use it. Now you can move on to the next video and see all the parts about setting up your Warrior special offer, things you might want to consider, and then you can get going and actually launch your product.